All right, class, this is Unit 7, Section 6, second part, and we are on number 7 here. Okay, so first thing we need to do is see if there's a GCF. All right, so for 4x cubed, for 16x squared, 4 times 4, and then for 16x, 4 times 4, and your x.
Miss Aiken, can you please go to Miss Reed's room? Miss Aiken, please go to Miss Reed's room.
All right, so what do we have in common? We have a 4, and we have 1x. What's left with the trinomial? So we have x squared. Let's make sure we're right. 4x times x squared is 4x cubed plus 4x. Let's make sure we're right. 4 times 4 is 16. X times x is x squared plus 4. 4x times 4 is 16x. Okay. Now, we did our greatest common factor. The next step is, do we have a perfect square? Well, is x squared perfect? Yes, because I can pull out an x. Is 4 perfect? Yes, I can pull out a 2. Because they're both positive and it's a trinomial, this is going to be a positive. Okay, so here's our answer. So we used greatest common factor, and then we used perfect squares. All right, let's look at 8. First thing we need to do we have anything in common? Well, we have a 2, and we have this y. And if you can't see that, let's factor it out. So we're going to pull out a 2, and we're going to pull out a y. Okay, so what's left? X squared minus y squared. Okay, so we did GCF. Now, second thing, perfect square. Perfect square, you have a trinomial. This is a binomial, so do we have a difference of a perfect square? Is x a perfect square? Yes. Is y a perfect square? Yes. So, what we have here is our first term. When you have differences of perfect squares, remember it's x minus y, and it's x plus y. Because x squared, x is your, when you take the square root of that, so there's your a, and for y, there's your b. And remember it's a plus b and a minus b. So here's our final answer. Okay, do we have a greatest common factor? We do not. Do we have a perfect square? Well, 9x squared is perfect, but 2 is not. So, we need to do our t-chart. So, when you multiply, you need negative 18. And when you add, you need a positive 3. Okay? So, I can take 6 times a negative 3 and get negative 18. 6 plus a negative 3 and get a positive 3. All right, so I have 9x. Remember, we always put our first, our leading coefficient, and then we break down the x squared. So I have a positive 6, and I have a negative 3. Now, can I simplify this binomial? I can divide them both by 3. Can I simplify this binomial? I can divide them both by 3. So, 9 divided by 3 is 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Okay. Any common factors here? No. Any common factors here? No. So there's my final answer. You can FOIL it and check it if you want. Okay, number 10. Do we have anything in common? Well, they're all even numbers, so we do. So let's see what it is. So for 12, 2 times 2 is 4 times 3, and then 3 b's. For 48b squared, I have 8 times 6, and then 2 b's. And then for 48b, I have 8 times 6, and then 1 b. All right, so we have 2 2's and 1 3. So that's 4 times 3, which is 12. And we have 1b. All right, what's left? B squared plus 4b plus 4. All right, now, pulled out our greatest common factor. We need to see if that's a perfect square, and it is. And that's a positive, okay? So it's going to be your a plus b squared. All right, so b squared is b, 4 is 2, and it's a plus. And then bring down your 12b. All righty, let's look at number 11 here. Okay, do they have anything in common? Well, they don't have any y's, but they all in an even number, so let's see. I know 2 will go into all of them. Well, 4. 4 will go into 12, and 4 will also go into 72. So let's go ahead and pull out that 4. All right? So 4y squared divided by 4 is y squared. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 72 divided by 4 is 18. Okay, so we pulled out our greatest common factor. Do we have a perfect square? Y squared is, but 18 is not. Okay? So then what we need to do is our t-chart. So when we multiply, we need negative 18, but when we add, we need a positive 3. Okay? So 6 times negative 3 will give me negative 18. 6 plus a negative 3 will give me a positive 3. So I have 4, and I have y plus 6, and y minus 3. There's my answer. All right. Number 12, do we have a greatest common factor? And we do. We can pull out an x squared of both of these. So when I pull out x squared, I have x squared minus 1 left. Okay. Do we have a perfect square or difference of perfect square? We have difference here. Because x squared is a perfect square and so is 1. So on the difference of a perfect square, remember it's x minus 1 and x plus 1. That's our answer. All right, just a little bit here at the end to help you. Any polynomial with a binomial, trinomial, or if there's 4 terms, you want to look for a GCF. Okay? If it's a binomial, which is two terms, you want to look for difference of perfect squares. Let's call that two squares. Okay? And then if it's a trinomial, you want to look at perfect squares. And then if it has four terms, you want to look at grouping. So we told you on the first page, the steps you need to go through, but then also on the last page here, if you look at the type of polynomial, it'll kind of tell you what to do too. So you can either go through all the steps or kind of look at the polynomial, either one, or both. Y'all have a good evening.